How deep did I plant these? 12?
So deep.
Okay. In the springtime, I had planted a big patch of potatoes, the biggest one I had ever planted. And I planted them about 8 inches deep and about 8 to 12 inches apart. And after our long wait, they're finally ready to harvest. You can tell that they're ready to harvest when the vines die all the way back to the ground, like this. And it's a good idea to leave them even 2 weeks after the vine dies all the way back to let the potato skins thicken up a little bit. And it's absolutely essential for long-term storage. As you can see, this one has not died back all the way. And then the ones next to it has. This probably comes from the same potato. But anyway, we might wait to harvest this one for a couple more weeks just to get some fresh potatoes here in a couple weeks. That's not a bad way to go. We'll leave them in the ground. It acts as a perfect refrigerator. Let's see what we can find in the dirt. No. Ooh, potato. Tater.
Good
Ooh,
potato.
Tater. This one was close to the surface and it appeared to have rotted a little bit, but the rest of the potato is fine. We'll just cut it right there and we'll cook it or can it or prepare it in any way you'd cook a normal potato. Ooh, tater. Ooh, tater.
There's one under the shovel.
Tater. Mama tater. I'll just edit it and it'll be fine. Yeah, I'll probably edit that. By the way, I don't mind if you talk at all. It does not bother me. I actually like it when you do. It's really cool.
It's really cool. Doesn't sound very,
Wasn't very convincing.
yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful, perfect taters. Tater! If you keep your potatoes at 40 degrees in a root cellar, they'll stay good for like 4 to 6 months. If you keep them at above 45 degrees, they'll last for 2 to 3 months, but they'll risk drying out and they'll risk sprouting.
Stop.
Look up. Look up and open your arms. Oh, God. Close your eyes.
I'll close my eyes, open my arms. Okay.
Okay, look up. Look up. You messed this up.
After you plant the potatoes in the ground, you have to put a good layer of mulch over top, or at least it's a good idea to. And you can use straw, you can use any kind of store-bought mulch or anything like that, or you can use leaves. And that's what we used. I used leaves and I covered all of them up, and you use this for moisture retention and weed suppression. And the cool part about that is as I'm digging up the potatoes, I'm mixing all those leaves that I put in there in the spring into the soil, and it's adding a bunch of rich organic material to the soil and improving the soil quality overall. Homegrown potatoes are so much better than store-bought potatoes in every way. Potatoes are a super low-maintenance crop. You're covering them with mulch, and so you don't have to weed them. You just have to water them frequently and feed them frequently. You can use compost and organic material, and you can also use just an all-purpose organic fertilizer. I started with fish emulsion. We added compost and organic material, and I also added some all-purpose organic fertilizer to it. You can tell that your homegrown potatoes are so much better as soon as you start digging them up. As soon as you pick one of those potatoes up, you can tell that it's just firmer and just a lot better structure, just overall just a nicer potato. And then when you cook them, it's very clear because they're so creamy and they're so tender and they're very, very tasty. Tater! 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 You're old enough to kill, but not for voting. You don't believe in war, but what's that gun you're toting? Tater!
Tater?
Tater!
Tater? You find a tater?
Baby tater! After you dig up your potatoes out of the ground, leave them to sit out in a shady place for a couple of hours for their skins to harden. This is going to improve their overall long-term storage, and it's going to make it so they just don't rot as quickly.